Okay, chapter 2, test problem 12. We have 3x minus the quantity of 6 minus 5x equals the negative 8 over 3 times the quantity of 3 over 2 minus 3x. So, this is our fractions problem, and we're going to solve it the same way we do all the other problems. Okay? So first things first is PEMDAS. Alright? So parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division from left to right. Addition, subtraction from left to right. Okay? Alright, so first, parentheses. I need to do is in the parentheses. So, this side's done, this side's done. The noise. Okay? Then I want to make sure that I do my exponents, but there are none. And then I want to do multiplication division from left to right. So, as I come through, I see right away that this negative has to be multiplied through. So everybody on the block gets the paper. So everybody in the parentheses gets that negative distributed to them. So this is 3x. The negative times a positive 6 is minus 6. And negative times a minus 5x is a positive 5x. Okay? And just like this negative went through, this negative's got to go through, but it's connected to this fraction. So I'm going to bring it through. And because it's multiplication, I'm not going to worry about getting rid of the fraction yet, or because it's pretty simple. When you multiply fractions, it's top against top and bottom against bottom. So that's pretty simplistic. It's pretty straightforward. So it's just 8. Negative 8 times 3 is negative 24. Okay? And 3 times 2 is 6. The one thing I have to remember is that this is over 1. This is really 3x over 1. Or 3 over 1x. It's how you want to think about it. Okay? So it's really going to be the 8 times the 3 and the 3 times the 1. So, and the negative times the negative. So I have negative times the negative is a positive. 8 times 3 is 24. And 3 times 1 is 3. And the x, I kind of just keep the x separate. Kind of keep it to the side because I know it's in the top, and that's fine. Now this is where I would want to get rid of the fractions. But the fractions are going to get rid of themselves. Because when I look at this, I see that 6 goes into 24. So 6 goes into 24 4 times. So it still stays negative. And 3 goes into 24 8 times. Okay? So I just kind of bring everything else down. Okay? And now, this is where I want you to start. If on the other side of the test, this is where the rest of the test, if it doesn't have fractions, this is going to help you for the rest of the test. It's just solving for x. Okay? So in this case, I want to find my like terms on each side of the equation. So here, there are no like terms, but on this side there is. So I need to add these x's up. pulled this down. I forgot the plus. Can't forget everything. Everything has its sign. Everything has its place. So I take 3x plus 5x and I get 8x minus 6. And then over here what I like to do is just might as well write it so that the x's are first. So 8x. And remember, the sign goes with it. So this sign goes with it. Minus 4. Okay? So, and all I did was bring this over here and bring this over here. Just so that my x's come first. Now, I see that the 8x is 8x, but both sides aren't exactly the same, so I might need one more step before I figure out what the actual answer to this problem is. So I got to move the x's. And so the way I move the x's is I grab the lowest x, 8 or 8, and it doesn't matter, they're both the same. So I'm going to grab it and add the opposite. And when I do to one side, I do to the other. And then when I add those up, I get nothing. So I just get negative 6 equals negative 4. Now this is where I have to ask myself something. I just lost my x's. So my x's are gone. So there's two possible solutions. No solution or infinite or all real numbers. And when I look at this, I ask myself a simple question. Does negative 6 equal negative 4? No. So, no is your answer. It's always half of the solution. And in this case, no implies no solution, which can be looked at with a 0 and a slash through it. Okay? That's one problem. I'm going to stop this and then we're going to do another problem.